Are you excited about the Samsung Galaxy Note 4? I'm Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com, and I'm going to walk you through the latest Galaxy Note 4 rumors so that you know what to expect later this year. The first thing that we're excited about is the Galaxy Note 4 event that's on September 3rd, and we could see a Galaxy Note 4 release come as early as the week of the 15th. If it doesn't come by then, we do expect it by the end of September, and the biggest reason why is because Apple is bringing an iPhone 6 out, and Samsung really wants to do its best to meet the iPhone 6 head-on. When it comes to the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 display, we expect the same overall size. That's a 5.7-inch display, but one of the things that we think Samsung's going to do this year is go with a higher resolution at 2560 by 1440. That's the same resolution we saw in the LG G3, and by packing in all those pixels, you can actually see way more detail on the screen, especially if you look at photographs, and if you have access to high resolution video, you can see it too, but just the photos you even take with the camera, you'll be able to see way more detail, zoom in and see really crisp, cool details. Now, we also expect to see some of the tech from the Galaxy S5 make its way over to the Galaxy Note 4. The Galaxy S5 display is more power efficient, so if you compare the power usage at the same brightness on the S5 versus the S4, you end up using much less power. I believe it's about 30% less power on the Galaxy S5, which means better battery life. We're hoping we see that same efficiency on the Galaxy Note 4 to deliver better battery life. Now, we've also heard about a Note Edge, which would maybe spill over to this side and offer this three-sided display that may show notifications or something like that. And while that sounds really cool, it's probably not something that's coming to all carriers in the US. It'll probably be a limited release, maybe in Korea and a few other countries, like the Galaxy Round was. So don't get your hopes up too much for that. From a design standpoint, the Galaxy Note 4 is probably going to ditch this fake leather look, at least with the stitching. Leaks that we've seen show a real fine grain style on the back. It's not quite clear what the material is. It's probably some sort of plastic or something like that. We may see some use of metal in the silver area here instead of plastic, which is nice because, as you can see, the plastic kind of chips a little bit more. Hopefully we'll see some shrinkage of these bezels up front. Not quite clear exactly how much that might happen because any photos we've seen of that have the screen off and it's a black model, so it's hard to tell. We do still expect to be able to remove the back for access to a removable battery and adding more storage with a micro SD card. Now, some other things that we could see added here are a water-resistant design, so we'd have a seal in there so that we could just drop this into a little bit of water. You know, you're not going to be able to take this swimming with you, but like the Galaxy S5, you should probably be able to take this and have it be underwater for about 30 minutes at less than 3 feet and it come out okay. We saw several colors for the Galaxy Note 3 arrive over the year, and the Galaxy S5 arrived with really cool blue color, gold, and black and white, and we expect to see a repeat of some of those colors on the Note 4, but we'll probably see black and white be the main options offered here in the US, maybe an exclusive gold on some carrier or at some retailer. Samsung and carriers tend to bring that out a little bit after the main release or something like that, so you may have a little wait ahead of you if you want that. As far as the camera experience goes, we expect a 16 megapixel camera on the back of the Galaxy Note 4 with optical image stabilization and a new dual LED flash that will combine LED colors, and with that you'll be able to take a photo and it will intelligently flash at the right warmth so that you get a more realistic looking photo. Hopefully we also get some better low light performance. That's an area that we typically see companies push slight improvements year over year in that manner. The Galaxy Note devices and the Galaxy S5 devices typically offer a lot of camera options. We saw the Galaxy S5 kind of scale back the on-screen options and focus on an auto mode so that it was better at picking what was perfect for that mode. We also saw live HDR, which lets you really see what's going on in the photo before you press the shutter. Expect to see stuff like that carry over to the Galaxy Note 4 this year. If you head over to GottaBeMobile.com, in the camera section of this article, you'll see a Galaxy S5 camera walkthrough, and that'll really highlight what we expect to see on the software side of the Note 4 camera. As far as what's inside the Samsung Galaxy Note 4, the specs have leaked, and we expect 4 gigabytes of RAM, a Qualcomm Snapdragon 805 processor, or an Exynos 533, and we also continue to expect that micro SD card that allows us to expand our storage, 4G LTE, and these specs also point to that 2560 by 1440 resolution. It looks like we'll be able to record in Ultra HD as well as 1080p, and in terms of the internal memory, recent spec leak shows 16, 32, and 64 gigabytes, but other reports have suggested that in the US maybe we'll just see the 32 gigabyte Galaxy Note 4 option and kind of push users to use that micro SD card to expand up to an additional 128 gigabytes of storage if they want to. Now, other things to expect is probably a larger battery, although that's not confirmed yet. The Galaxy Note 3, as you can see here, comes with a decent sized battery. This is actually quite large for most smartphones, and this is a 3,200 milliamp hour battery, and so we could see a slight increase in that unless Samsung's going to stick with the software and display enhancements to deliver better battery life. So some other interesting things that we expect to see on the Note 4 would be some new sensors. On the Galaxy S5 we got a fingerprint, or I should say a heart rate sensor right below the camera, and we expect a UV sensor as well on the Galaxy Note 4. Not sure if it's going to be on the back or one of these sensors up here on the front, but basically it's going to measure the ultraviolet radiation when you're outdoors, and it can basically let you know, hey, you should limit your time outside, make sure you have sunscreen on, you should really get out of the sun right now, etc. Another thing that we could see is a fingerprint sensor right in here. On the Galaxy S5 you have one where you kind of slide your finger down like this and it unlocks, and you can unlock the phone with that, and you're also able to use that for third-party apps and stuff like that. Now we have the Galaxy Note 3 TouchWiz showing here, and we have some of our hallmark features like dual window mode that allows you to use multiple apps at once, and we also have our S Pen with our S Pen window commands here, so we can choose Air Command, Action Memo, Screen Write, S Finder, and Pen Window. And the Galaxy Note 4 Invite had this type of icon on it, so we expect to hear more about the S Pen with the Galaxy Note 4. Not quite clear what Samsung may add, but we could see some new S Pen features built in to that device. Other things that we expect to see include remote control, and the S Help app that debuted with the Galaxy S5 will probably come on the Galaxy Note 4 as well. Thanks for watching our Galaxy Note 4 preview. You can head over to GottaBeMobile.com and check out the links in the description down below for more on what you can expect from the Galaxy.